Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Barcelona sacking Ronald Koeman puts more pressure on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. It was announced yesterday that Ronald Koeman had been sacked by Barcelona because of poor performances and poor results. Now Manchester United will be forced to pay Ole Gunnar Solskjaer £7.5 million if they decide to sack him. Because in the summer, Solskjaer signed a new contract with Man United until 2024. There's an option of a further year. It's already been confirmed that Solskjaer will be in charge for the game against Tottenham on Saturday. The game against Tottenham could be Solskjaer's last game as Manchester United manager. Defeat to Tottenham should get Solskjaer sacked. It said yesterday Solskjaer could be in his final week as Man United boss as the pressure mounts. Man United have given Solskjaer 3 games to save his job. Last Sunday, Manchester United lost 5-0 to Liverpool at Old Trafford. That was embarrassing from a Manchester United perspective. It was Liverpool's biggest ever win at Old Trafford. Liverpool were 4-0 up at half-time. That was the first time ever a team had been 4-0 up at Old Trafford at half-time, and Man United fans were leaving the ground, and more were leaving after the 5th goal went in. After the 5-0 defeat to Liverpool, Solskjaer refused to resign, and Solskjaer said it was his darkest day as a manager. Man United stars have lost faith in Solskjaer, and Solskjaer is losing the fans. Solskjaer is fighting to save his job. Manchester United have not won a league game since the 2-1 win against West Ham. So Man United are winless in their last 4 league games. Man United are sitting 7th in the Premier League after 9 games. That's nowhere near good enough to our standards. Now, there's been a lot of talks about Antonio Conte coming in to replace Solskjaer. Now, a lot of United fans reckon that Conte is the man for Man United. Sky Italy have said that Man United have made contact with Conte twice. What? Alright. Conte wants the Manchester United job, but the board are not keen. He said the other day that Conte has reservations about the club's structure. But I think if Conte came in, he'd get Manchester United back to that level where they should be at. And he'd suit the strappings of the club. Conte is a far superior manager to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer because Conte's got a good pedigree behind him. Conte won a lot of silverware in his home nation. And when he was in his first season at Chelsea, he won the Premier League. So Conte has managed in the Premier League before. That's beneficial. Conte is available because he left Inter Milan at the end of last season. Now, there's some United fans that are demanding Zinedine Zidane in. I'm very sceptical that we'll get Zinedine Zidane, because reports from Spain have said that Zinedine Zidane has no interest in becoming Manchester United manager. You know, when Man United sacked Solskjaer, Zidane said he's enjoying life away from football management. The other week, reports from Spain said that Man United contacted Zidane because of the recommendation of Cristiano Ronaldo. Pochettino, he's been spoken about. It's said that Pochettino is still Man United's number one choice. If Man United sack Solskjaer. Pochettino is highly rated by Alex Ferguson. Brendan Rodgers has been mentioned, and not so long ago, Erik ten Hag held talks with Man United. But in regards to Solskjaer, the expectations are far too high for him to exceed as Manchester United manager, and I just feel as though that Solskjaer is in a position that he shouldn't be in. I reckon now Solskjaer has been given long enough. Solskjaer has been Manchester United manager now for almost 3 years. And this season is Solskjaer's third full season as Man United manager. And I did mention at the start of this season that this season was going to be massive for Solskjaer, because I said he's got big expectations to exceed. Solskjaer will not win trophies as Manchester United manager. Manchester United have not won a trophy since 2017. Solskjaer cannot take this squad any further. Now, reflecting on our poor performances and reflecting on the poor results, not all of the blame stems from Solskjaer. He's accountable for certain things, but obviously there's players that have got to take responsibility for those poor performances and poor results. You know, but I adore Solskjaer. All Manchester United fans adore Solskjaer for what he's done for the club. You know, Solskjaer is a club legend. He endured 11 years as a player for Man United. He flourished under Sir Alex Ferguson's guidance. Ole had a proven pedigree as a player, because he won a lot of trophies when he was a Man United player. But unfortunately, Solskjaer has no proven pedigree as a manager. Obviously, before us, Solskjaer managed Molde. He won a few Norwegian titles and that at Molde, but they're not a big club. He endured 2 spells at Molde, and before Molde he was at Cardiff, and his record at Cardiff was absolutely disastrous. The reason he got sacked from Cardiff is because he got them relegated. Ole managed Man United reserve team for a couple of years, so he watched some of the team grow and develop. To be honest with you, I'm surprised Solskjaer's lasted as long as he has done, but revert back to what I've said before, the reason he's lasted as long as he has done is because he's a legend of the club. Our board have got a soft stance on him. And a lot of United fans have got strong reservations about Solskjaer's decision making. Analysing the vast majority of the games Solskjaer's managed at Man United, he's been tactically naive. Solskjaer got appointed in December 2018 to replace Jose Mourinho. In Solskjaer's first 3 months, he was the interim manager. He did very, very well as the interim manager. He won, 14 games out of 19 in all competitions. So, reflecting on that, the club decided to give Solskjaer the job on a permanent basis back in March 2019. Solskjaer has signed 14 players as Manchester United manager. In the summer of 2019, he recommended Daniel James and Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire in. In January 2020, he recommended Bruno Fernandes in and Odin Igalo in on loan. In the summer of 2020, he brought Edison Cavani in, Donny van de Beek, Alex Telles, Amad Diallo and Facundo Pellistri. And in this year's summer transfer window, he brought Heaton in, Sancho, Varane and re-signed Ronaldo after 12 years. So we spent around 441 million under Solskjaer, and Solskjaer's endured 5 transfer windows as permanent Man United manager. Solskjaer's also got rid of a lot of players since he's come in. He's loaned players out, he's got rid of players permanently. The players he loaned out in this year's summer transfer window, he loaned Brandon Williams out, Ethan Laird, Axel Tuanzebe, Andres Pereira, Tahith Chon and Facundo Pellistri. The players he's got rid of permanently, obviously Man United sold Daniel James in this year's summer transfer window. He was the only player Man United sold in this year's summer transfer window. That was disappointing from a Man United perspective. Ole also released Sergio Romero and Joe Pereira. In January, he offloaded Igalo, Fossa Mensah and Rojo. Ole also offloaded James Wilson and Borthwick Jackson. Ole's also offloaded players like Young, Valencia and Smalling. That trio were long-serving players at the club. He also offloaded Darmian, offloaded Fellaini back in January 2019, offloaded Angel Gomez, offloaded Herrera, offloaded Lukaku and offloaded Sanchez. In Solskjaer's first full season, he got us to 3 semi-finals and he got us a 3rd place finish. In his second full season, which was last season, he got us to the EFL Cup semi-final, he got us to the quarter-finals of the FA Cup and he got us to the Europa League final, and that was Solskjaer's first major final as Man United manager, but unfortunately we didn't win it. And last season Solskjaer got us a 2nd place finish, so yeah, some progress has been made under Ole. Like I mentioned before, what Solskjaer produced in his first full season, in his second full season, he was looking to build on that this season. And I also like the way Solskjaer develops the youth. He seems to have a lot of trustworthy in his young players. And Solskjaer has more or less given everybody their chances to express themselves, like he showed he would do when he got appointed in as Man United manager. So there you go, and like I've said to you so many times recently, Solskjaer has run out of excuses. Because Manchester United have got a very good squad. It's a title-winning squad, so in reality, Manchester United should be winning the Premier League this season. Well, at the start of this season, Solskjaer came out and said that his ambition was to win the Premier League. We haven't won the Premier League since 2013. But the problem is, Manchester United are a team of individuals. Like pundits have said, Man United don't actually play as a team. That's the problem. You've got the likes of Liverpool, City and Chelsea and that play as a team, and that explains why they're in a much better position than Manchester United at this moment in time. Manchester United as well enjoyed a very good summer transfer window, spent around £141 million, brought 4 players in, and Solskjaer received very good backing. John Murtough backed him, Darren Fletcher backed him, Ed Woodward backed Solskjaer, and the Glazers backed Solskjaer, but only because they'd been persuaded to. So there you go. When Solskjaer gets sacked, he'll be the 4th permanent manager to be sacked since Ferguson. Man United have already sacked 3 managers since Ferguson sacked David Moyes after 10 months. Moyes was probably one of the worst managers we ever had. We finished 7th under the Moyes era. We sacked Louis van Gaal after 2 years despite him winning the FA Cup. And we sacked Jose Mourinho after 3 years, was it? despite him winning 3 trophies in his first season. Mourinho got us a second place finish in his first season, so you can say Mourinho did enjoy one good season at Man United. But Manchester United have not been the same team since Ferguson retired. Obviously, a lot of United fans predicted it was all going to go wrong when Ferguson retired, which obviously it has done. No one will replicate what Ferguson did at the club. You know, Ferguson brought success to Manchester United. He won 30-odd trophies, including 13 Premier League titles. But Ferguson didn't settle in straight away because he didn't win out in his first 4 years at Man United. So it does take some managers time to settle in. Ferguson enjoyed a 27-year managerial tenure at Man United, so he was a very long-serving manager. By the way, Ferguson has backed Solskjaer. Ferguson made a mistake recommending David Moyes in when he retired, but the reason he did that is because he had a lot of time for Moyes, and plus there was both Scottish. Yesterday I gave you the news on Paul Pogba. Mark Ogden said that Manchester United are prepared to lose Paul Pogba for free next summer after accepting that he will not sign a contract. Fabrizio Romano recently said that Pogba wants to stay at Man United, but only if Solskjaer gets sacked. Pogba rubbishes report to Solskjaer because it said before that Pogba snubbed Solskjaer after the Liverpool defeat. And obviously that's when contract talks were put on hold. Pogba didn't start against Liverpool, and I heavily criticised Solskjaer for not starting Pogba against Liverpool. Pogba should have started against Liverpool, but anyway, he came on as a substitute and Pogba got sent off for that 2-footed challenge on Naby Keita. So now Pogba's got a 3-match suspension. After the 4-2 defeat to Leicester earlier on in the season, Pogba came out and said that something needs to change at Manchester United. So reflecting on that, Pogba was demanding Solskjaer out. Earlier on this season though, Andy Mitten came out from The Athletic and said that Manchester United offered Pogba £400,000 a week to stay at Manchester United. It would see Pogba become the second highest earner at the club. At the moment, Pogba receives around 290 grand a week. Pogba's current contract at Man United expires next summer. Before the start of this season, Pogba rejected a Man United contract. Earlier on this season, it said Pogba's very likely to leave Man United on a free next summer. But earlier on this season, it actually said Pogba wants to stay at Man United, and Paul Scholes backed Pogba to stay. I think Pogba's enjoyed a good start to the Premier League season. You know, he's got 7 assists. He produced good performances for Man United in the last couple of months of last season, but at one point last season he was out with a thigh injury for a while, and he sustained a couple of ankle injuries at Man United. I am expecting Manchester United to sell players. Next year. I think there's a very good chance that Anthony Martial will leave next year because Martial's not good enough to represent the club. Martial doesn't really get in the team anyway now, and Martial's out with injury, but I think he's close to returning. I think Man United will demand close to the 54 million they originally paid for Martial back in 2015 from Monaco. Before the start of this season, it said Solskjaer refuses to sell Martial, as he remains part of his plans. Solskjaer seems to have a lot of trustworthy in him because Solskjaer was the one that gave Martial that number 9 shirt. Well, earlier on this season it said Newcastle wanted Martial. Newcastle made formal contact with Martial's representatives. Newcastle are planning to spend big after the Saudi Arabians taking over them. Earlier on this season it said Barcelona are considering making a move next year. Martial's been a long-term target for Tottenham. Atletico Madrid were in for him last summer. Martial rejected the chance to join Lyon on loan on deadline day, and before the start of this season, Inter Milan wanted Martial to replace Lukaku because Lukaku went back to Chelsea. Martial's only had one good season at Man United, and that was his debut season under Van Gaal. Last season he was out with a knee injury for a while. Martial's been at Manchester United for 6.5 years now. He's got a contract with Man United till 2024. Martial scored 79 goals for Man United in all competitions. I think Cavani will go next year. I can't say I want Cavani to leave though, because Cavani's made an impact since he's come in. Cavani was out with injury earlier on this season. Obviously he's now back. Cavani's got under a year left on his contract at Man United. It was back in May he signed that 1-year contract extension. He receives over £200,000 a week. Earlier on this season it said Real Madrid want Cavani on loan in January. And I presume Barcelona could reignite their interest because Barcelona tried to get Cavani on deadline day in the summer transfer window. Cavani's got a good pedigree behind him though. Look at the amount of silverware he won when he was at PSG, and not only that, he was a long-serving player at PSG as well. Lingard, I'm expecting him to go next year. Lingard doesn't really get in the team, does he? And earlier on this season, Lingard rejected a Man United contract offer because of 2 players. Well, the other month it said Lingard rejected a Man United contract offer over playing time concerns. Lingard's current contract at Man United expires at the end of the season. ESPN said earlier on this season that Lingard is a target for Barcelona and AC Milan. But yeah, Lingard's planning to run down his contract. I think Solskjaer wants Lingard to stay at Man United. He's been part of the club for a long time. The second half of last season, Lingard had a 4-month loan spell with West Ham and he made an impact. Juan Mata, I think he's going next year. Juan Mata's contract at Man United expires next summer. Earlier on this year, Juan Mata signed a 1-year contract extension. I can't understand why Man United extended his contract for a further year because Mata doesn't get in the team. And plus Mata's lost that yard of pace. And he's aging up. But despite that, I think Juan Mata's had a good career at Manchester United. You know, he's made over 200 appearances in all competitions and he's scored over 50 goals now. Being a long-serving player at the club, Juan Mata's been at Manchester United for like 7.5 years. Got him from Chelsea back in 2014 for 40 million. Brought him in under the David Moyes era. The first part of last season, Mata rejected an 18 million a year contract offer to play in Saudi Arabia. Donny van der Beek, I think he's going in January because Van der Beek is not getting enough game time at Manchester United. He's a good player, Van der Beek, but I haven't had much of a perception on him at Man United. And I've said Solskjaer needs to start Van der Beek, especially in the Premier League. Prior to the Liverpool game, Solskjaer did admit that Van der Beek was frustrated and disappointed over his situation at Old Trafford. I don't think Solskjaer wants Van der Beek at Man United. If he did, he'd play Van der Beek on a regular basis. Earlier on this season, Van der Beek was furious with Solskjaer after the Villarreal game. Earlier on this season, Van der Beek told Solskjaer his best position. He reckons he'd be best served operating as a number 6 or as a number 8. And earlier on this season, Van der Beek spoke about his Man United future in an exclusive interview with Rio Ferdinand. Earlier on this season, Van der Beek's agent is said to be working hard on finding a new club for his client. Many clubs have been in for him, so he's been subjected to a lot of transfer speculation. Romano said earlier on this season that Van der Beek's planning to leave the club in January. He's endured a difficult 18 months at Man United. This is Van der Beek's second full season. We got him for 40 million with add-ons included. He's got a contract with Man United till 2025, and he's versatile. He can play in 3 different roles. Matic, I think he's going next year as well. Matic isn't one of our first choice midfielders, but despite that, he's still being given his chances. Got me reservations about Matic because obviously he's ageing up and he's always been a static midfielder. I think Matic is only the predominant defensive midfielder we've got. Matic has been at Manchester United for like 4.5 years. We got Matic for 40 million from Chelsea back in 2017. Before the start of last season, I think Matic signed a 3-year contract. I want Fred to go next year because Fred's not good enough to represent the club. We overpaid for Fred, got him for 50 million from Shakhtar Donetsk. And I think Tellez will go next year, Jones will go, Bailly will go, and Diego Dalot will go. And Dean Henderson wants a loan move away from Man United because Dean Henderson isn't getting his opportunities, is he now? Because De Gea reclaimed the number 1 spot back. So anyway guys, on my next video, I'll be giving you my predicted 11 for the Tottenham game. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always. My channel name's Red Devil 24. And take care, God bless, see you all again very soon.